Yo, man. Welcome to No True Ball with your host, Brian Payne. Hey, you guys, we are back, boy. I missed a lot of this playoffs with you guys. And, man, hey, for that, I apologize. I haven't been on since the second round of the playoffs. Been a lot going on, man. I got pretty sick as far as like a sinus infection and all kind of stuff like that going on. So my voice was in and out, and I didn't want to put out garbage. And then last week for the conference championship games, the family and I all went on a Disney cruise, bro. So we was on the boat. I tried to record from the boat, and I did it, but the sound was awful. You just hear nothing but noise and waves in the background and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, I don't want to put out garbage. So I was just like, I'll get back to y'all Super Bowl Sunday, and here we are. We are officially at Super Bowl Sunday, where we're going to see the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Philadelphia Eagles. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about the awards that got dished out to the players and the Coach of the Year award. And then also when we start talking about the Super Bowl teams, we're going to talk about the Eagles playoff run, the Chiefs playoff run, and then we're going to talk about how the Super Bowl, I think, is going to go and how each team has a chance of winning it. So let's go ahead and do this so we get in and out on this Sunday. Y'all know how we do it on Sunday mornings. So let's go ahead and talk about the NFL awards. The first award we're going to talk about is the Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this, man. The Rookie of the Year ended up going to Jared Verse, who had a really good season, a really good football season. And second place was Quinyon Mitchell. To me personally, there was no rookie that truly stood out for Rookie of the Year this year, in my personal opinion. I mean, it's always a team game, but this year, like, it was really like a team defensive thing. And Jared Verse was the guy on that defensive line for the Rams that got most of the sacks and things like that. Great player. He played tremendous. I'm not taking nothing away from him. But, like, bro, he still only had like 5 sacks for the season. Something along those lines, I believe. Like, it's not something that's like crazy. It's not like he had 12, 13, 14 sacks in the season. So that's what I mean. We're like, there wasn't no true standout this year. But there are a lot of good defensive players. Like I said, you're talking about Cooper DeJean, you talking about Quinyon Mitchell, you talk about Jared Verse, and so many other guys that have really good rookie campaigns, but end up going to Jared Verse. I'm good with it because that Rams defense was very good. Also, another rookie is also along that defensive line with the Rams, Fisk, I believe is his last name. He had a really good year too. I think that he should have got more consideration as well because Jared Verse and him played off of each other a lot, and that's how he ended up getting this award. But hey, kudos to him, man. Hey, that was a good call, giving it to Jared Verse. I don't have no argument against it. And let's move on to Offensive Rookie of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, it was pretty simple. Of course, it was going to Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels balled. He balled. You talking about a guy that ended up having coming out after the season, he's maybe the top 5 quarterback in the league as a rookie. And to me, he's 5 as of right now. I would go Patrick Mahomes 1. I would go Joe Burrow still 2. I would go Josh Allen 3. Lamar Jackson 4. And that's official for me because Lamar, you lost to him. It's just that plain and simple. And then number 5, that's what's so up for grabs that you could make a strong case that is now Jayden Daniels' spot. Who you going to put up there, Jalen Hurts or CJ Stroud or Jordan Love or Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray's, like that's the realm of guys that we're talking about. So with that being the case, he might be the best one after the Big Four. After the Mount Rushmore of this quarterback group right now in this league, he might be that guy that's on the outside looking in. So with that being the case, he's easily the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Now, the thing that sucks about it is that the Offensive Rookie of the Year will always go to a quarterback if they can award it to a quarterback. It's just like the league MVP. So what sucks about it is that Brock Bowers, you had a great season, brother. He's the one that came in second place. He got 1 vote out of all the votes. And for him, fantastic rookie campaign. Fantastic rookie campaign, especially when you look at the quarterbacks that he was with. You talking about Aiden O'Connell? Come on now. Garner Minshew? Okay. Desmond Ridder? Okay. And for him to still go ahead and, I want to say, top 100 catches in the season, I believe that's what he ended up hitting. And if he didn't get that, he got really, really close. And over 1,000 yards at the tight end position as a rookie with no true wide receiver one on the other side to take pressure off of you. The defenses are focused on you week in, week out. Your run game is meh. So with that being the case, like, this offense was predicated around Brock Bowers. For you to show up and show out as a rookie, congratulations to you, big dog. Any other year, you probably would have got this rookie of the year. But this year, man, there's a special quarterback in this class, and you're not going to get that over him. Moving on now to Defensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, and we'll go to Patrick Surtain. Second place is Trey Hendrickson. I 100% agree with this one. 100%. Patrick Surtain had a great season. And in this league, they want to get the Defensive Player of the Year to a pass rusher. That's what they want to do. But the issue is there was no pass rusher that had 20 sacks this year. There was no pass rusher that was just straight up outstanding this season. So that opened up the door for a guy like Patrick Surtain to finally get that for the DB class and for the DBs. And with him getting this award, it's a big show. It's a great way of showing how dominant he truly is. This guy is a guy that I'm comfortable letting guard Ja'Marr Chase on ones. Comfortable letting him guard Justin Jefferson on ones. Like, there's not many guys that I'm going to let guard Ja'Marr Chase, Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, and so on and so forth. I have a great DB on my team. The Chiefs have a great DB in this league, and Trent McDuffie, I believe he's a top 5 DB in this league. I'm not letting him run ones with Ja'Marr Chase. I'm not letting him run ones with Justin Jefferson. But Patrick Surtain, I am. You go ahead and run them ones, bro. You got that. This is the new Darrelle Revis, man. He's not the fastest, but he is the smartest. He has great ball skills. He will, and he's great on the press. So with that being the case, like, he's a fully developed corner. He has great size for a corner as well. He is not an easy guy for you to go against. I love Patrick Surtain winning this award. Great job, brother. You had a great season. Moving on now to Offensive Player of the Year. This one ticked me off. This is why it ticked me off. The NFL just called the MVP a quarterback award. Just call it a quarterback award and then say that the Offensive Player of the Year is like this guy's who actually was the best offensive player this season. Or this is the best offensive player that's not a quarterback. Let's just say that. This is the best offensive player that is not playing the quarterback position. Because Saquon Barkley won this award, but this guy should have been league MVP. League MVP should have went to Saquon Barkley. So y'all just keep that in mind. My arguments about the MVP is strictly because I know how the league rolls and they're just going to pick a quarterback every time. It is what it is. So when we get to that conversation, we're just strictly talking about the quarterback position. But in this situation, I'm just like, man, if y'all was being truly fair about who the league MVP is, it was so far and away easily to me Saquon Barkley. It's not even close. It's not even close. So, of course, Saquon Barkley deserved Offensive Player of the Year. My attitude is towards them not letting him also get MVP because he was the league MVP this season. As long as we all understand that and know that, we good. But Saquon Barkley, man, great year. Great year. I'm in full agreement with you being Offensive Player of the Year. You completely transformed that Eagles offense. You did. I know a lot of people are going to say, like, oh, no, they were a good running team before he got there with Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell and so on and so forth. Yeah, they were good. They weren't this. They were not this. I am terrified when he touched the ball if I'm the opposing team. I was never terrified if it was DeAndre Swift getting the ball or Miles Sanders. Okay. We'll figure that out. We'll stop that. But with Saquon, like, there ain't no stopping that. There ain't no stopping it. So, man, with that being the case, Saquon Barkley, great season, Offensive Player of the Year. Second place was Lamar Jackson, and whatever. The true second place guy, because if you ask me, quarterback should not even be in this discussion if we're going to vote them MVPs. Second place should have been Ja'Marr Chase. That's who second place should have been. Moving on now to Coach of the Year. Coach of the Year ended up going to Kevin O'Connell. Second place was Dan Campbell. I'm fine. I'm fine with it. Aidan O'Connell, he had a team where he lost a lot of stuff, man, at the quarterback position. You're saying that he lost Kirk Cousins, his guy that he's had for years. Then here he is supposed to be having his first round pick quarterback. You lose him, and now you end up going with Sam Darnold, a guy that no other teams really want like that. And for you to transform his career and still have a great team and lead that team the way that he led them to the second best record in the NFC North, to the Detroit Lions, in which that was a tough division, very, very tough division. So you just getting to that point of pushing the Lions to the brink is a big deal. And then you're saying that you made the playoffs. You were better than what you were with Kirk Cousins. So with that being said, I get it, and I'm not mad at it. Dan Campbell, I thought he should have got more. I thought this should have been a lot closer. He should have got more votes. Dan Campbell lost a lot of that defense, and for him to still lead a team to either 2 or 3 losses for the entire year, that's a big deal with him losing on everything he lost. Another guy that I think it should have been closer as well is Andy Reid. Andy Reid, he finished in 3rd place this year, but Andy Reid, man, he had to lead a team where he had wide receivers falling off left and right. They was getting injured every other day. You're talking about the offensive line was truly, truly struggling. And then you're talking about defensively, we also lost guys like Jalen Watson and guys like that to where he had to find ways to fill these voids. And on top of that, dealing with the pressure of trying to get back to the Super Bowl again. This was a great coaching season by the Chiefs head coach and offensive coordinators. Another guy that should have got more votes as well is Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn took over a team that had the 2nd overall draft pick. The team was trash. He got a rookie quarterback. And yet he leads this team to the conference final. This team ended up going, I would believe, 11-6, 12-5, something like that. They weren't supposed to do that. They weren't supposed to be anywhere close to that. I had them high. Going through the year, I think I had them going 8-9. And like a lot of people would have looked at me sideways, like, how the hell you think the Commanders are winning 8 games? He had a great year. Great year. I think this year, that Coach of the Year trophy could have went to any of these 4 guys. Any of the 4. And I'm okay with O'Connell coming out on top. But I wish that the votes would have been a lot more closer. Like the final score, I wish was closer. That's all I'm saying. Moving on now to the league MVP. We have Josh Allen winning the award over Lamar Jackson. Now, as you guys know, I've been on this train also, the last quarter of the season that Josh Allen is my league MVP. I agree with it. This is my beef with it, though. My beef is that you cannot vote Lamar Jackson all-pro first team and then give it to Josh Allen. That is straight up bullcrap. And that is foul, and I do not agree with it. You should have made Josh Allen the all-pro first team and league MVP, or vice versa. That's how that should have went. You cannot sit here and tell me, like, oh, this guy had the better season, but we're going to give it to this guy as league MVP. No, that's bull. That is bull. And because of that, I will say that Lamar Jackson got robbed. Now, for me personally, like I said, I would have voted Josh Allen as my first team All-Pro, and I would have voted Josh Allen as my league MVP. As you guys know, I've said it several times. My reasoning is that, first of all, Josh Allen had less turnovers. But more importantly for me, secondly, I felt like he played great winning football, just like Lamar Jackson did, don't get me wrong. But there wasn't no hiccups. And on top of that, you took things away from Josh Allen. He didn't gain things this year. Talking about players. There was no hiccups for Josh Allen, like in the way of like losing to the Raiders, losing to the Browns, losing to this team. Like, they didn't do that. And then you're telling me that he doesn't have Derrick Henry. James Cook is a good back, but he ain't Derrick Henry. He don't even have a Zay Flowers at the wide receiver spot. Like, what are we doing? He don't have a Mark Andrews or Isaiah Likely. Now, the Bills' offensive line is a very good unit, but like, this is what we're talking about. So that's why I would go with Josh Allen. But Lamar Jackson did have a great season. I think that he should have finished second in this MVP if we're only going to give it to quarterbacks. And I do believe he got robbed if you voted him all-pro first team as y'all did. That's my beef. You cannot do that, and I hate when they do that. Years ago, LeBron James got all first-team defense. Marc Gasol was all second-team defense, and somehow, some way, you give the award to Marc Gasol as Defensive Player of the Year. I can't get behind that. That makes no sense to me. No sense whatsoever. It feels like we're trying to make things a participation trophy. That's what it feels like when we do stuff like that. Oh, we want to give a little bit to everybody to showcase how good of a year that they had. No, that's not how this works. MVP, all first team. Same thing. Same damn thing. Now, after that, let's go ahead and move on to our Super Bowl game. We got the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, what we're going to talk about first is the run that the Eagles went on. And now I'm also going to highlight what I think is the most important game during this playoff stretch that they've had. So, with the Philadelphia Eagles, the first game, and they played against the Green Bay Packers. The final score of that game was 22-10, with the Eagles obviously coming out on top. In that game, the Eagles are forcing turnovers. They forced turnovers, and that's how they really won that football game. I'm going to go over things that the Packers did in that game that carried over to the Rams game, and what the Rams did, as well, that I think the Chiefs are going to have to implement to beat the Eagles. But in this game against Green Bay, honestly, bro, the offense of the Eagles, I didn't really like how they looked in that game. But defensively, they look good. They look good. They won this game because, honestly, Jordan Love and that offense isn't ready to be on that stage. That's why they won this football game. They're not ready. So now let's go to the last game, actually. We're going to jump the Rams game and jump down to the Commanders game, where the final score is 55-23. The Commanders had no business being there. Let's just keep it a buck. They overachieved. This was the NCAA tournament team, like St. Petersburg or all those teams. When they finally get to the Sweet 16, to the Elite Eight, and they get ran out the building just because, like, eventually, bro, you don't have the horses. And that's what happened in this game. The Commanders don't have the horses. I like Noah Brown, but Noah Brown as your number 2 wide receiver, that's a problem. It's a problem. I like Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler, but, like, when Austin Eckler is your most explosive running back, that's a problem. Like, yeah, you're not going to make it very far with that kind of unit. Defensively, you got to rely on Brian Wagner being your best defender on your roster. Like, bro, my dude is 86 years old. He ain't even supposed to be out here, let alone, like, leading the team. So, like, well, all these things, they have no business being there. And the Eagles went out there and did what the Eagles are supposed to do. They went out there and dominated. They won that game because they forced 8,000 turnovers, it felt like. And they did what they're supposed to do, man. They seen this team for the third time. A lot of people thought that the Commanders had a chance in this game. I never really did. Mainly because, and the reason why people thought that was because the Commanders beat them last time, but people forgot that Jalen Hurts suffered a concussion in that game. Jalen Hurts didn't finish it. He actually missed, like, over half of the game. So with that being the case, they went against the backup quarterback in Kenny Pickett, and we all know he trash. So, like, what are we talking about? So, I never really had any hope in them winning that football game. Talking about the Commanders, and good job by the Eagles doing what you're supposed to do, dominate the lesser opponent. Now, let's talk about their most important game this playoff run. They played against the Rams in the second round of the playoffs. It was a snowy game, and the final score of that game was 28-22. Now, the big focus I want to focus on is the first half, and probably about like half of the third quarter, because those conditions, it was wet, but like the conditions weren't too bad yet. The snow wasn't crazy yet. All that kind of stuff. Now, that plays a factor later in the game, and I believe that's part of the reason why the Eagles was able to close out that football game, is because they are used to playing in weather like that, and the Los Angeles Rams are not. But, hey, kudos to them still. Just to be clear. Hey, bro, when it's wet outside, it's wet outside. Both teams are going to slide. Both teams are going to slip. It's just a matter of, do you know how to maintain your speed, how to decrease your speed, things like that. The Eagles are going to have a better knowledge of that because that's their stadium. And the Rams are going to have less of a knowledge of that because they pretty much play in a dome. So with that being the case, that leans towards the Eagles as an advantage. So that's why we're not really going to get into like the fourth quarter. But in this game, Jalen Hurts went for 128 yards, 70 rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. He was 15 of 20. Barkley went for 26 carries, 205, 2 touchdowns, 4 catches, 27 yards. The Eagles also forced 2 fumbles. that is a good day. It's a really good day. My only issue is that when you watch the game, go back and watch the game and watch how Jalen Hurts plays in this football game. So Jalen Hurts, he does not want to attack the middle of the field. And a team like the Rams, with a smart coach like Sean McVay, he notices that. So what did he do? He kind of leaned on the outside of everything with these receivers to try to force Jalen to go inside. Or if we're going to let them catch the ball outside, we're going to pinch them to the sideline where they can't even turn upfield to try to get more yardage. And that's how this Eagles offense got slowed down dramatically in this game. Also, A.J. Brown did drop a ball that would have been a touchdown. That was like a 30, 40-yard pass. He dropped that. I'll give Jalen Hurts that. He should have got that one off. That one's on A.J. Brown. But my point is this. Jalen Hurts, he's going to want to throw the ball outside or throw it deep. That's it. And I think that is too simplistic. And then also, when you watch the Green Bay Packer game and the Rams game, you will notice something that they did and how they slowed down this offense. First down, they ran a lot of man. They ran a lot of man on first down because they were doing run blitzing, a run blitz strategy to get to Saquon Barkley. Once they got to Saquon Barkley, a lot of the time it was going to end up being 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6. And then the Eagles are trying to pass in that situation. That's just what they're doing. Because if you go back and watch that game, every second down, they went zone. Talking about the Rams and the Green Bay Packers. And Jalen Hurts did not play well against that zone. That's when, like I said, those corners are tilted to be outside, to not give up deep outside plays. And then they're pinching them to the sideline. So then as soon as they catch it, it's only a 2-yard gain. And that's what was taking place. And they were making sure that their safeties was deep. They were going cover 3 most of the time. And Jalen Hurts didn't know where to go with the football. And now what caused the next thing that happens after that is now you're in 3rd down and it's 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 5. And that's when a lot of times the Rams and the Packers both went with a lot of man coverage in that. A lot of man coverage, so then you could keep eyes on Jalen Hurts to try to make sure that he can't scramble out. And then also you're still helping over the top on A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And he doesn't want to throw the ball in the middle. You beat man by throwing the ball in the middle. That's how you beat man. Crossing routes, slant routes, things like that. That's how you beat man coverage. You do not beat man coverage on the outsides and deep. You're not going to do it. I mean, as long as there's a safety over the top, you're not going to beat it deep. That's how they handled against Jalen Hurts. And it slowed Jalen Hurts down. Now, he was efficient. He is efficient in terms of completion percentage. But the issue with Jalen Hurts is that he takes a lot of sacks. He doesn't want to throw an interception, but the issue is he doesn't want to throw the ball out of bounds. So he takes a lot of sacks. And Eagles offensive line, as great as they are, because it's a really good unit, they are not the greatest in pass protection, especially in the middle. Between Mekhi Becton and I cannot think of who their left guard is right now, and Jurgensen Dickinson. Between Mekhi Becton, Dickinson, and Jurgens in the middle, they are not the greatest unit for pass blocking. For pass blocking, they are not the greatest unit. When you see a lot of these sacks, it's coming actually off of Micah Becton. That's who these teams are targeting. Why? Because honestly, he's a great physical presence. He's like 6'7", like 350 pounds, something wild, and he's tremendously strong. But his football IQ is low. So when you run a lot of stunts at him, he gets lost in that. You doing a surprise blitz at him, he misses it. So he is the weak link on that offensive line, and defense started attacking him. And I'm telling you now, the Kansas City Chiefs, especially Steve Spagnuolo, he is noticing that. You're going to probably see a lot of Chris Jones and George Karlaftis on the right side of the Eagles offensive line, and then they're going to run stunts and blitzes at Mekhi Becton. I'm telling you that's what they're going to do. But anyways, back to Jalen Hurts. So with Jalen Hurts, he's not running an efficient passing attack because he will take those sacks instead of just getting the ball out of his hands. And that is how you're going to slow this Eagles offense down. The Eagles defensive play stand out the entire playoff so far. Now, the issue with their defense is that it's very vanilla. It's very simple. It's very simplistic. They're going to run a lot of zone, a lot of cover 2 zone. Very specifically, they're going to drop these guys back. They're going to drop the linebackers back literally 5 to 10 yards. That's how they're going to play. And that's how Matt Stafford had a great day against them. Matt Stafford went for like 325 yards and 2 touchdowns in this game. When you look at the route tree that the Rams run, the Chiefs do a lot of that same route tree. So you see a lot of short passes, a lot of quick outs, a lot of things like that that keeps the offense on schedule. And with that being the case, you are giving up. What you are saying as a defense is that we are willing to bend, we don't want to break. And then when you look at the defensive line, as much as they're talking about Jalen Carter, who is a great defensive tackle, second best one in the league in my personal opinion, behind Chris Jones, if I could slow him down, I'm slowing everybody else down. Because he is the wrecker. He's the guy that makes everything tough. So as an offensive line, my main focus is him. I'll worry about all the other pieces later. But they don't really do a lot of blitzing. Talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. They don't really take a lot of chances. They want to play very safe. And honestly, they're playing safe like that because they believe that their offense is going to maintain the ball. And they're just like, hey, as long as we don't give up big plays, we're going to win this football game. And guess what? That's what it has been. So it's been a great run for the Eagles. But those are the things that I've noticed that are weak spots for the Philadelphia Eagles. Moving on now to the Kansas City Chiefs playoff run. We got to remember, Chiefs only played 2 games. They were number 1 seed. So the first game was against the Houston Texans. They won that game 27-19. There isn't really a lot to get into in that football game because it's obvious. The strength of the Houston Texans was the pass rush. And guess what? That did show up in that game. You just went against number 15, who's a great player. Now, I'm just going to address this one time only. You guys know I'm not a big component of talking about referees and calls and stuff like that because, honestly, you can't change them. That's why I don't really get into it. It's nothing that nobody could change. It's nothing that nobody could do. So what's the point of really digging into that kind of stuff? It's stupid unless it's blatant and obvious. I have no true issues with the first roughing the passer that was called on Patrick Mahomes. Will Anderson did bump Patrick Mahomes' head. Patrick Mahomes' head does do one of these numbers. Did he exaggerate it? Absolutely he did. I'm not sitting here trying to say he didn't. Was it egregious to where like you had to call it? No. I agree with you on that too. But the thing is, at the end of the day, we've seen guys get, not just Pat, because actually Pat's roughing the passer calls are a lot less than a lot of other quarterbacks. He's like number 8 or something like that with getting those calls actually. But that's neither here nor there. But they're not going to let you hit quarterbacks like that, bro. You just got to let up. George Karlaftis in the final drive against Josh Allen and the Bills, that final play, he gets to Josh. He gets there as Josh is doing that fadeaway throw. He gets there. He puts his hands up. I'm not touching you. Because he's going to get the call. Don't touch him. And that's what it is for Will Anderson. If you watch, man, a lot of these guys, they want you to fill them. They want you to fill them. So they're just going to try to push you. They're just going to try to do something like that. They are not letting y'all do that no more. Let alone against a star quarterback. Let alone against the moneymaker of the league in Patrick Mahomes. So like I said, was it a ticky-tack call? I 100% agree with you guys on that. I just think that, like, bro, you got to be a smarter defensive player. Get out of it. You know better. Now, the second one, that was a bad call. Bad break for you Houston Texans. That one was a bad call. And Patrick Mahomes also deserves criticism on that one. You can't just drop down. You can't do that. It's a slide. You can't just drop down. And you guys know I hate the way we protect these quarterbacks like this. I hate it, period. And those guys, they have to converge. They have to. If they don't, then Patrick Mahomes keeps running. Like, you got to go there. And they end up hitting each other. Now, I will say, if you just look at it, now, just watching it from afar, like the referee is, it probably did look like it probably was some type of contact to Patrick Mahomes' helmet. The thing is that you guys got to remember, you cannot review it. So if it looks like it, you got to call it. They don't get to just watch the replay like we get to and then make the call. If you watch that play live from your couch, you're going to say Patrick Mahomes got hit. We get the benefit of watching the replay. And when you turn and you watch the replay, that's when you're like, damn, he didn't get hit. But once that call is called, it's called. It's non-reviewable. There ain't no just picking up the flag. There ain't no none of that. So, unfortunately, that's what took place. Now, do not take away from the greatness of what the Chiefs did in that football game. Travis Kelce, he had a vintage Travis Kelce game in that game. Then Patrick Mahomes is making touchdown throws while getting sacked and things like that. Like, they played great in that game as well. Kudos, though, to the Houston Texans. They had a great game plan. They had a tremendous drive in that third quarter where they had the ball for like 10 minutes, something like that. Great drive by them. I think next season they're really going to be ready to try to make some noise in the AFC playoff game. Maybe if they had Tank Dell or Stephon Diggs, it would have been a little different. But, hey, for the Kansas City Chiefs, good win. That's the only things I'm really going to say about that football game. Going now to their big game, the Buffalo Bills, maybe the game of the year. Final score of that game was 32-29. You saw Pat Mahomes go 18-26, 245, one touchdown in the air, 43 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns running. You saw Kareem Hunt also get a touchdown, 64 yards and 1 touchdown. The big thing I want to focus on in this football game is how when the Chiefs need to answer the call, they're going to answer the call every time. Every single time. The Chiefs, this game went pretty much exactly how the Chiefs would have wanted to go. Everything except the one fumble that Patrick Mahomes had. This game went how they wanted it to go. They showed that they could dominate in the air. And then when it was time to start killing clock, let's kill some clock. They found a way to have an efficient running game by including Patrick Mahomes within the running game. It made it good enough. Because they were running real running plays for Pat. It wasn't just Pat just out there just scrambling around. No, like that was a read option play when he scored the touchdown at the end. And then when I look at those boots, that is pretty much a design. It's a designed run. The way Pat's running the boot, he's like, I'm going to run first, pass if it's just wide open. But he already has in his mind he's running. So I'm calling those like design runs as well. So with that being the case, it's kind of like an RPO, actually. Let's just look at it like that. When he's on his boot, it's an RPO. The Chiefs shown that they can have one of the most efficient offenses in the league, if not the most efficient offense in football. That's what they showed. They're going to get what they need to get every single time. And they're not going to make the mistakes that's going to kill the drive. Now, defensively, the Chiefs have to stop the run better. I don't know why the Buffalo Bills went. Well, honestly, I have a lot of things to go into with the Buffalo Bills. We'll do that in one of our offseason episodes. But their coaching staff really ticked me off in this football game. They were awful. They did not help Josh Allen whatsoever. Because, see, when I'm on this platform, I'm going to talk to you guys as, like, just a football person. I'm not really going to be talking about favorite teams and all that kind of stuff. So there were many opportunities that the Bills could have won this football game, but the coaching staff held these boys back. Held them back tremendously. And with that being the case, that's why they truly lost this football game. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the call real quick, the 4th down call with Josh Allen. First of all, that play didn't win, it didn't lose the game. Let's be clear on that. That play happens with like 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter, 11 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Like, that's first of all. You saying that Pat and the Chiefs don't have time to make up points? Then secondly, let's get to this part. The play happened on like the 50 or somewhere between the 50 and 40 yard line. Like, bro, they weren't even in field goal range yet. You don't know how that drive finished out, even if you give them the call. Even if you give it to them, you don't know how it finishes. Now, let's talk about the actual play itself. Yes, I saw the judge, the ref at the top. He comes in this way. The ref at the bottom comes in more inside. the call actually leans towards the ref in the bottom in that scenario because the play was ran closer to his side. That was the far side judge. This is the near side judge. The near side judge gets to make the call. He gets to overrule the call, I guess you could say. When you watch it, it's so close. It was so close. Now, I personally do think he got it. I think Josh Allen got the first down. I'm not going to sit here and lie and argue with you guys on that. This is what I would have did differently if I was the referee. I would have called him for the first down first. Then I would have talked to my team, still would review. I would have left the review table like, damn, I don't know if he got it or not. We're just going to let the call stay out as it is. So for those of you that do not understand, when they walk up to announce what the final call is after reviewing the play, they will say the call stands, the play stands as called, or they will say the call has been reversed. The thing is, they can only say the call's been reversed if they say the play has been confirmed. When they use the term confirmed, they are saying like we know for 100% fact this is what happened. So they will say the ruling has been confirmed, the play stands. The ruling has been confirmed, the play is reversed. They are saying it's blatant, we know, we got it, here is the correct call. When they do not use that term, confirmed, that means they're just sticking with what was called because we don't really know what happened. We don't really know if he got it or not. So it's actually a play where if they called him for the first down, the Chiefs wouldn't have got to reverse it either. It just so happened that they called it short first. The near side judge called it short first. Now, when you actually watch the replay, the ball is tucked on this side when Josh Allen is going. So we only see his back. We don't really know how far. Yeah, his shoulder's ahead. Yes, his head's ahead. But is the ball there? Because he has it like this to make sure he doesn't fumble. Because he already fumbled 3 times in that game. He has it right here to make sure he doesn't fumble. So we truly have no idea, because if you look at the one on his jersey, the one on his jersey did not cross that plane. And that one on his jersey is probably closer to where the ball is than, that one on his jersey is probably closer to where that ball is than his shoulder is, than his head is. So with that being the case, I don't think it was a bad call. I just don't really think how can you change it. And it was just a tough call. We can't jump on them for every little thing. That was a tough call. It was just ended up being a bad break for the Buffalo Bills. Now, the big thing I want to focus on is the great drive that the Chiefs had at the end of the game. And I'm not talking about the offense. I'm talking about the defense. The defense played spectacular on that last drive. 3 minutes left. Buffalo Bills have the ball with 3:33 left on the clock. You only got to run 6 plays. That's a failure for Josh Allen and that coaching staff. Mainly the coaching staff. Once again, we'll get into that on a different episode. But Josh Allen had a chance to win this football game. The Chiefs stood strong. They stood strong. They forced the Buffalo Bills to do the things that they wanted them to do. They forced Josh Allen to throw that ball over the middle, but they had enough traffic there that he had to throw the ball a little high to make sure it don't get tipped, and it was way too high to get completed. Then they forced Josh Allen to do the correct read. Credit to Josh Allen on that. It was the correct pass, and throw that screen pass to Amari Cooper. And then they forced Josh Allen to have to throw a fadeaway ball, which still was a great ball by Josh Allen, to Dalton Knecht. Dalton Knecht wasn't supposed to. Dalton Kincaid, sorry, mixing basketball right now. Dalton Kincaid was supposed to continue running to the sideline. That's supposed to be a dot on the sideline where he catches the ball and goes straight out of bounds. Instead, he had to try to turn and catch it. But the fact is, Josh Allen put it in a place that he could. But this is all Steve Spagnuolo. I'm not going to get deep into it, mainly because I know you guys all saw that on SportsCenter and all that kind of stuff. So we're not going to go crazy into it. But great job by Steve Spagnuolo and that Chiefs defense. They stood strong, and what you saw was a guy playing chess against Joe Brady while Joe Brady was playing checkers. So with that being the case, let's go ahead and get into the Super Bowl. So now in the Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs going against the Philadelphia Eagles in New Orleans, we're going to be in a dome, so it's going to be dry. Now the Eagles actually already play here this season, and it kind of plays a factor just because of the fact they know what that turf feels like. They know how to run on that turf like they've done that once already. So with that being the case, I'm excited to see what the Eagles are going to try to do differently in this football game. Because see, this is what the Chiefs are going to do. The Chiefs, they have watched all the film. They did all these things. They are also going to run a run blitz on the first down. They're also going to run zone on second down. And they are also going to send an exotic blitz on third down to get to Jalen Hurts. That's their drives. Every single drive, that's what they're going to do, and they're hoping to get that sack on Jalen Hurts. And if they get that, they know, okay, we're going to win this drive. It's sincerely that simple for them. They're going to attack Mekhi Becton. That's how the Kansas City Chiefs are going to stop this Eagles offense. Now, as an offense of the Eagles, what I'm going to do, I'm going to punch the Chiefs in the mouth. We're going to run, 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 run. That's all we're going to do. Because you have the physically dominating team. Now, for the Chiefs, you're going to play Purnell. You got to play Mike Purnell in this game. He's going to have to play a lot. And then also you're going to have Chris Jones. He has to go in the middle of this game. There ain't no doing that, going on the ends or anything like that. You got to play in the middle because we got to be big. We got to be big. This game is going to be predicated on not letting Saquon Barkley get the big run. He's going to get 100 yards. He's getting 100 yards. The thing is, we can't let him get a $130 to $150. If he hits that range, we lost this game because that means that we gave up one or two 30-yard runs in this game. And that's what the Eagles should be trying to do. If I'm the Eagles, I'm running the ball outside. We're doing a lot of outside zone. I'm attacking the edges. I'm attacking George Karlaftis and those outside linebackers. That's where I'm going. I'm attacking the nickel corners. That's where I'm going if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles. And we're going to be focused on running the ball. And I'm going to even be telling Jalen Hurts, don't even really be worried about doing read options and trying to keep it. Give that ball to number 26 and let him go to work. This is the true league MVP this season. Number 26, Saquon Barkley. Give him the damn ball. I just think it's that simple. And then after 2 drives of that, now we can hit this play action pass. Well, I'm going to throw this ball deep over your head as A.J. Brown, and it's going to be a tutty in a heartbeat. I think it's that simple for the Eagles offense because they are that good. Now, if I was the Chiefs, I'm not putting Trent McDuffie on A.J. Brown. I'm putting Trent McDuffie on Devontae Smith because Devontae Smith tends to actually run more of the inside routes, and that's where Trent McDuffie is at his best. He's at his best when he's in the middle of the thick of things. So that's what he likes. He understands how to penetrate through all the chaos down there. So that's what I would be doing. I would be putting Trent McDuffie on him. I'll put Jalen Watson on A.J. Brown. There's not a big size difference between Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson. So I'm going to put Jalen Watson on A.J. Brown. I'm going to give him help over the top. I'm going to tell him, hey, you defend him short. The help is it's their job. To really, Brian Cook, it's your job to make sure that he does not get downfield without you being back there. Eric Reed, you're going to be in the box most of this game, bro. You're going to be looking like the honey badger in this game. You're going to be in that box. I need you down there because I need somebody to help tackle Saquon Barkley. Now, against the tight end, I think that's actually the biggest matchup in this football game, in the passing game. We have to make sure that we keep Dallas Goedert in check. He's the guy that can like turn the chains for the Philadelphia Eagles. So they're going to run a lot of out routes to him. That's what they do. So I will lean on the outside. of Dallas Goedert, make sure that he doesn't get to break out as easily. And I think that's just not plain and simple. I think you win the rep. Because, see, Nick Bolton, you're going to have him as the quarterback spot. Nick Bolton or Drew Tranquill is going to be the quarterback spot. And with that being the case, there's always going to be somebody in the middle of the field. So even if Dallas Goedert wanted to try to sneak in from behind, Hurts ain't going to throw that ball. First of all, he doesn't want to. Secondly, it's not open. Now, also with Jalen Hurts, you got to remember he's a little height challenged at the quarterback position. He's not that tall, and his offensive line is huge. So it's hard for him to see over, and it's going to be easy to get tip passes against Jalen Hurts. That's why he doesn't really attack through the middle, unless he's going on like a deep post or something like that. So that's how I would defend this offense, and I think the Eagles still have the advantage. I do think they do, but I do not think the advantage is as wide as people think that it is. It's not that wide. Moving on now to the opposite side of the ball, the Chiefs' offense against the Eagles' defense. The Eagles' defense is going to run what they run. They're going to run a lot of zone. I personally think that's terrible against the Kansas City Chiefs. When you run a lot of zone, that opens up Travis Kelce. And if Travis Kelce can move the chains for the Kansas City Chiefs, you're going to lose. It's just that plain and simple. You're going to lose. And in the zones, he gets to pick his spots. Now, if you run man coverage at Travis Kelce, and have a little bracket on the outside, now you took him out the game. And that's what a lot of teams have been doing, is playing man against Travis Kelce. That's why you've been seeing Xavier Worthy get off. Because when you run man, that opens up as Xavier Worthy. Because he has the speed and because he has the route tree, he is going to get the advantage in man coverage. If I was the Eagles personally, I would be focused on blitzing Patrick Mahomes. I know that he's great against the blitz, but if I was the Eagles, that's what I'm going to do, because we're not going to slow down the passing game in zone, and we're not going to slow it down in man. I'm going to focus on slowing it down by getting to Pat. I'm blitzing for ones. We're doing ones all night as far as the defensive line and offensive linemen go. Ones all night. Jawan Taylor, you're going to be put on a damn island against Nolan Smith. And I'm betting that Nolan Smith could win that rep. Now, Trey Smith and Jalen Carter, they're going to battle this out. This is the battle of two giants right here. I don't think Jalen Carter's going to have as much of an impact in this game because of Trey Smith. But Jalen Carter is still a problem. He's going to be a problem. And there's going to be times that they're going to run stunts to where he's going to be the one going against Jawan Taylor. And he could cook Jawan Taylor. And he's going to beat Trey Smith sometimes. These are two great players. So sometimes I'm going to get you and sometimes you're going to get me. It's that plain and simple. Just like when you watch a basketball game. For example, like if you watch Joel Embiid go against Nikola Jokic, they're both going to finish with 30. They're both getting 30. So that's why I'm kind of saying here. Both of these guys are going to get 30. Now, Creed Humphrey, this is where it comes into play of why I'm going to send 5. I'm making Creed go one-on-one. Creed's going to hold up because Creed is the best center in football. But the issue is number 66. I cannot remember his last name right off the top of my head. Calicio or something like that. Now I'm forcing you on ones. And that's where my advantage comes in. That's where my advantage comes in. And then also the left tackle spot, I got Joe Thuney going against maybe Brandon Graham because he's coming back this game, or whoever it is out there. That's going to be a fight too. But now I got this backup right guard one-on-one. That's who I'm attacking if I'm the Eagles. So I would be doing that. I'm sending 5. We're going to run a lot. We're going to run probably 50-50 zone and man, just making sure that we're mixing it up. Keep Patrick Mahomes on his toes. That's how I would attack that if I am the Philadelphia Eagles. That's how you win this game. On the other side, talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, I actually will focus on running the ball early. Try to run the ball early. I think I would run the ball actually on second down. Don't run on first. Let the offense be on schedule. Pass the ball on first down. Do a short pass, a screen. Granted, screens don't really work very well against the Eagles because the Eagles' greatest strength on their defense is that they fly to the football. But I still would try to run maybe like some screens and things like that, some short crossing routes, something like that, just to keep the offense on schedule. You know that they're going to run a zone anyways on first down. Talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm going to throw a 4-yard out route. Let's get to 2nd and 6. Because now once we get to 2nd and 6, now the offense is wide open. And that's when I will focus on truly running the football. Because if we run the ball there and get to 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, now we can run the ball again and try to get that first down. That's how I would handle that. And actually, in a lot of 3rd and shorts, I'm also going to move the offensive line. I'm going to move the offensive scrimmage. We're going to run outside zones. We're going to do things like that. And then also, when we run in short passing plays, we're doing a lot of boots. A lot of boots. We're going to move that defensive line to offensive line. So now we got advantages to actually block. That's what's going to save Jawaan Taylor. That kind of stuff is what's going to save him and allow him to hold up against Nolan Smith, who's playing fantastic football right now, by the way. Fantastic football. I'm going to be also attacking number 42. I think his last name is Burke for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's the backup linebacker. I'm attacking him in the run game. I'm attacking him in the pass game. I'm attacking him. I'm attacking. We're going at him. Nakobe Dean is out. Now, if Nakobe Dean was in, that changes a lot of things. Also, if I was the Eagles, I'm going to go ahead and put C.J. Gardner-Johnson on Travis Kelce. That's your job. That's just what I would do, me personally. If I'm the Chiefs, I'm going to try to get Cooper DeJean on ones with one of my speed wide receivers. I want him on ones with Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown. We're going to run wheel routes. We're going to take him deep, get him out of here. Because also, I'm going to test his speed. That's what I'm going to do. But that's why they also run a lot of zone. There's a reason why the Eagles are running a lot of zone stuff, and that's why. They don't want Cooper DeJean out there like that. If he get out there like that, you could beat him. So that's why they're running these zones. So if I'm the Chiefs, I'm focused on being efficient. I'm focused on getting to 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5. And at that point, our playbook is wide open. Now, Pat, he could run if he needs to. We could run the ball with Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco. We could throw another short pass. Also, we could take a shot if we want to do it right there. So that's how I think that they should play it out. Now, how do I think this game will truly play out in this football game? I think in the first half, the Eagles are going to do what they do. And I think the Chiefs are going to have 2 to 3 really good drives. I think the Chiefs will score 2 touchdowns in the first half and a field goal. I also think the Eagles have the opportunity of scoring 2 touchdowns in the first half as well and possibly a field goal. I really think this game is that close. Is that close? These are 2 great football teams. I give the edge to the Philadelphia Eagles, but these are 2 great football teams. I think the second half is when experience comes in and when coaching comes into play, and that's why I think the Chiefs will take over. That's when I think the Chiefs will really get the edge. I think that the game will slow down a lot. The Chiefs are going to be focused on making this clock just keep chopping at it, and only giving the Eagles maybe probably like 2 possessions. That's going to be the Chiefs' goal. They're only going to get the ball twice in this half, and that's it. Keep Saquon Barkley in check. I do not see him breaking off a 30 to 40-yard touchdown run in this game. I do see him getting a 20. He's going to get one 20-yard play in this game. It's Saquon Barkley and that big offensive line. They're going to get that. You cannot let him just take off. He can't get that 40-yard touchdown. I think Saquon will still have 100 yards. I'm probably saying about 110. He's going to have a touchdown in this game because it's Saquon Barkley, the true league MVP. I'm going to force Jalen Hurts to have to continue making plays. I'm going to test his knee. All that stuff. I'm testing him from all angles. That's how the Chiefs go about this game. And I think the Chiefs end up winning this football game. I'm going 27-24 Kansas City based off of the blitz packages that Steve Spagnuolo is going to throw at Mekhi Becton and Jalen Hurts. I envision, honestly, neither team really turning the ball over. That's not what either team does. It's just going to be a great football game. So, y'all, hey, we're going to be in for a great ride. I think that's how the game's going to play out. I got the Kansas City Chiefs winning this football game 27-24. I got Patrick Mahomes obviously being the Super Bowl MVP. We all know it's going to go to a quarterback regardless. And I see Jalen Hurts having a really good day. I see the Eagles I see Jalen Hurts having a pretty good day. And I see Saquon having a pretty good day. The issue is going to be that Eagles defense. I don't think they've seen a team that's going to attack them in the way that the Chiefs can attack them. The one team they saw that can do this is the Los Angeles Rams. But the Rams with Matt Stafford is different than the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes will run on you. Stafford ain't running nowhere. And guess what? The one time he did, he almost got a first down. It's like an 8-yard run. The one time that he did. So I think Patrick Mahomes' mobility is what the difference is in this football game, how the Kansas City Chiefs get the dub. So, hey, you guys, that's the end of our episode. And we made it to the Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl Sunday. We're going with the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game. Now, hey, of course, I'm leading it to my boys. I don't blame any of you guys that picked the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're a great team. But we're going for the back-to-back-to-back championship over here. We got on the shirt from last year. We got on the hat from 2 years ago against the Eagles the first time. The Eagles started this run, and they're going to finish the run for us. So, hey, we got the Kansas City Chiefs getting a three-peat. First time ever in history. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. This is Know What You Ball, your host, Brian Payne. Peace.